Sam Askew.
I'm Aidan Healy.
And we are here to discuss all of the events that lead up to the Winds of Winter in both A Feast for Crows and A Dance of Dragons. We're going to be basically summarizing all of the build-up in books 4 and 5, and we're going to be discussing our predictions for book 6, which will be rather tremendous, I think.
If you haven't read the books, don't watch the video.
Of course, this is...
click out of the video, hit the back button, or click on a video over here or something.
Most of the material we're going to be discussing is from books 4 and 5, so obviously if you're a show-only viewer, or you're not that far in the books, do not watch
It's your fault if you get spoilers if you're still watching.
That's right. Okay, so here we go. So what we're going to be doing with this video is we're going to be discussing primarily the events that focus around Winterfell, because there's a lot to discuss for the Winds of Winter, and George Martin describes two knots in the plot. There's the Myronese knot, and there's the Winterfell knot. Right now we're focusing on Winterfell, so here we go. Inside the castle walls of Winterfell, we have the Boltons and the Freys and the Manderleys. And things are getting pretty intense in there.
Yes.
The Freys and the Manderleys are at each other's throats. And Roose Bolton is even described as showing a hint of fear under Theon's eyes.
Hopefully finally dies.
Maybe so, we'll see. We know that things are getting very tense inside Winterfell.
They had a pretty awkward wedding with a fake Arya, and between fake Arya, who's really Jane Poole, and Roose Bolton's bastard son, Ramsay. Who
we all love and admire dearly. And then outside the walls of Winterfell, we have Stannis Baratheon, who has Asha Greyjoy prisoner. He has mountain tribe men and his own men, and Queen's men, and the Glover men that they rescued from Deepwood Motte. And as we all recall, it was an absolutely terrible trek through the Wolf's Wood, pouring snow, men are starving, 4 men even turned to cannibalism, and they were burned for a sacrifice to Red R'hllor. So things are even worse outside of Winterfell. Stannis needs to make a move quickly, because things are getting pretty bad. And then we have Theon and Jane Poole, fake Arya.
Not having a fun time with Ramsay.
No, they're not. But they've just escaped Winterfell, and they have made their way to Stannis' host. And Theon and Asha are reunited, and they are both Stannis' prisoners. And so, what do you think is about to happen in Winterfell?
Well, in Winterfell, I feel like Stannis is probably going to end up making moves sooner or later, because he really has no other choice. I mean, it's either sit outside Winterfell and die, or try and attack it.
The men's only hope of not starving or dying of the cold is to take the castle.
Yes.
Like, they have to attack soon, or else they're screwed. People are going to start deserting, they have to start attacking soon.
What I think is going to happen is Stannis is going to attack, and they're going to win. They're going to take Winterfell, but my prediction is, as much as I want him to die, Roose Bolton is going to escape. He's too slick of a character to die.
He's a very calculating, cold. Definitely self-preserving person. The whole
that's perfect.
Yeah,
self-preserving. That's like his entire.
His
world revolves around
the Red
self-preservation.
The Red Wedding was entirely self-preservation for him, because he knew he was up against Tywin Lannister and the money and the wealth of the South, and so he became Warden of the North.
Doesn't make him any less of a douchebag.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah. So you think that Roose Bolton will escape?
He will. I definitely think he's going to die in the Winds of Winter.
You think he is?
I think he is. He has it coming. So he's pissed off so many people. He's made so many enemies. And while he is so calculating and very wily and sly and clever, I don't think it's going to help him much more. I feel like his end is definitely come in some way.
And something we both discussed is that it's almost against his nature to become Warden of the North after the Red Wedding, because he's such a cautious, behind-the-scenes person.
Yeah.
And all of the Northmen virtually despise him, because they know what he did with Walder Frey.
Mm-hmm.
They know that he's the one who personally stabbed Robb through the heart, their king. All of Roose Bolton's men virtually hate him except for the Frey men. But the Freys are horrible too. So So you think that Roose Bolton is going to get away, and do you think he's going to be captured somehow on the getaway and killed, or what? Do you think
it's going to be something personal with someone at the hands of someone he wronged. I feel like.
You think it's going to be like a revenge death?
Not a revenge death, but he's going to be caught in a situation where it might be an execution, it might be like in combat, but it's going to be at the hands of like a Stark or potential. Maybe even Theon, although Theon's probably more likely to kill. If he's going to kill anyone, it's going to be Ramsay.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. This is a tad off topic, but I feel like if and when Theon kills Ramsay, it'll be like a very psychological, like kind of intense way. I think he can like strangle him or something. Like maybe if Stannis were to take Winterfell and have Ramsay and Theon as prisoners. And then,
actually, another question: like Theon's been so just mentally just broken down and by Ramsay. I wonder if even after killing Ramsay, if even he'd be able to survive after killing Ramsay. If he's like he doesn't really have anything exist for anymore.
Yeah, maybe not. I guess we'll all see. He may get a shot at redemption by helping take Winterfell or something like that.
I feel like he's not going to live long either, though. That's my prediction.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think Theon's going to live that long. He's made this huge comeback in A Dance with Dragons, which I thought was one of the best story arcs of the book. Was Theon's huge comeback. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But something that I think will happen, and this goes all the way back to A Feast for Crows, and you and I agree on this one, is Sansa and Littlefinger is a big factor.
Yes.
Because when we last saw Sansa in A Feast for Crows, she was making her way down the Eyrie, down the mountain because of winter coming, and she meets with Littlefinger. Sansa does, and Littlefinger reveals his plot to her. He says that a distant relative, basically, we can get into specifics. It's a distant relative of Jon Arryn.
He's going Harry the Heir.
Harry the Heir is what they call him.
Yeah.
Littlefinger plans to marry Harry the Heir to his baseborn daughter. Harry's mother agrees to the baseborn daughter because they're in debt. But then Littlefinger says at the wedding he's going to have
Robert will die, and then at the wedding,
Robert Arryn will
come out with the direwolf emblazoned on her back.
All of a sudden it's this bastard daughter of Littlefinger. Surprise! She's wearing a gray and white direwolf dress. Oh my gosh! This is Sansa Stark. And Littlefinger says that all of the Knights of the Vale will raise their swords to help her retake Winterfell.
Yes.
So bam, there you go.
So those are your gifts for me, my sweet Sansa. Harry, the Eyrie, and Winterfell.
Yes.
And that begs the question, who's going to end up controlling Winterfell in the Winds of Winter?
And this is, this is
what's
something
left of it.
We've also discussed, too, is we feel like Sansa is going to stop being a victim after a while.
Finally.
She's going to... she hasn't just been a victim all the time. For a long time, she was kind of in that personality. But we think that she's finally going to have, even if with Littlefinger as the puppet master behind her, we think she's going to have a voice and some power for the first time.
Although, you never know. She could just still keep being a victim.
I mean,
George R. R. Martin just doesn't seem to like her that
almost 5,000 pages into the series, I feel like something's going to change politically for her. Hopefully so. That's what I think. Seeing her as some sort of Queen of the North figure. There's a lot of fan art on websites. Maybe that'll happen. But yeah, basically what I think is that the Boltons and the Freys and the Manderleys are going to fight each other. They're going to fight Stannis' men. I think that Roose Bolton is going to be killed by a Northman in Winterfell. I think that maybe Women Manderley will order it. Some sort of Northman will kill Roose Bolton in Winterfell during the fighting, during the chaos. I think that the Winterfell forces and the Baratheon forces are going to exhaust each other, and then maybe the Knights of the Vale and Littlefinger and Sansa are just going to swoop in and take Winterfell. But the question is,
I disagree there. I don't feel like the Knights of the Vale and Sansa are going to be involved in the taking of Winterfell, personally.
So
I feel like they're too. I feel like they're not going to be. She's not going to come riding in and save the day and take Winterfell from the Boltons. I feel like the the recapture of Winterfell is going to be solely with Stannis. And I feel like the Manderleys are going to flip sides in the battle.
Okay, so to summarize our predictions, you can go ahead and summarize.
Well, Roose Bolton is going to... First off, Winterfell is going to be recaptured by Stannis with the aid of the Manderleys. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Roose Bolton is going to escape somehow because he's a slippery bastard. But then later on, he's going to get it. Someone's going to kill him. And I'm predicting that it's going to be at the hands of one of the many people he's wronged. Potentially Stark, or one of the many other Northmen, or possibly even Jon Snow. As maybe sort of like a... Possibly... I mean, you never know where it could go. Possibly like a revenge, like he killed his brother and his mother and everything.
Jon Snow, of course, is an entire other discussion. But
yes.
Yeah, maybe that'll happen.
I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch, but basically he's going to escape the fall of Winterfell and then die later. That's what I'm thinking. He's not going to survive the Winds of Winter.
Okay, to summarize what I think is going to happen, I think that the Winterfell forces and the Baratheon forces are going to fight. I think that the Manderleys are going to switch sides during that fight, just try to kill as many Boltons and Freys as they can. I think that it's very possible that Roose Bolton and Hostane Frey could die in the fight. I feel like if George was going to kill off Roose Bolton, I feel like he would kill him in a different way other than just in a fight.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he's going to die later.
Maybe Stannis will burn Roose Bolton. I would be okay with that.
That would be pretty cool.
I would be satisfied with that. Who knows? But either way, and then what I think is going to happen is while they are fighting, that Sansa and Littlefinger and the Knights of the Vale might swoop in, because I think I remember when I was reading A Storm of Swords, when I was reading about Stannis taking the wall, I could feel George smiling behind his pen. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Stannis, And maybe he's counting on us to forget about Sansa because it was in book 4.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like George would actually show us the wedding and the troops marching towards Winterfell in a chapter. So maybe they won't get there in time. I think eventually that Sansa and Littlefinger are going to take Winterfell from whoever has it, because they're going to have the freshest forces. They have a lot of forces that have not been used yet, just the Eyrie in general. I think that they are eventually going to take Winterfell. I think Sansa is eventually going to stop being a victim and have some power of her own, even if Littlefinger is the puppet master behind her, and maybe she'll try to somehow dispose of him. Who knows?
I think.
Ooh, sorry.
They're not. I don't think they're
real fast. Maybe when Littlefinger gets really carried away one night, maybe tries to do something lustful with Sansa, she would actually kill him. That's impossible. Because that would be
I could see that.
That'd be her transitioning from victim to a tough girl. If she personally killed someone. I don't know. Just speculation.
I don't know. I can see that happening. I can also see though them pledging fealty to Stannis, and because at that point in their storyline, he has the most just claim to the throne. But I feel like once Stannis hears about the Targaryens, he's such a straight-laced, he doesn't want it. I feel like Stannis is going to give up his claim to the throne once he hears that there are Targaryens back in Westeros, because their claim supersedes his claim.
But see, then again, Stannis believes that Robert was the true heir, which means he probably wouldn't really believe in the Targaryen claim to begin with.
Sure. Is it ever mentioned what side he was on in Robert's rebellion?
He was on Robert's side.
He was.
Yeah, he was Robert's master of ships. He held Storm's End for Robert.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that's how he got at Davos. I doubt that he would succeed to the Targaryens.
I don't know, because I feel like he's that, and there's been points where he's mentioned conversations with Davos that
how he didn't want
he doesn't want this. He doesn't want this. He's just doing it because it's his duty. He has the most rightful claim, so it's his duty to protect his claim. But I feel like once someone comes along with a better claim than his, I don't feel like he would continue to try to pursue that. I mean, and you raise a good point though. He was not on the Targaryen side of the rebellion, but
But then again, maybe he was just against the Mad King, and if he saw a sane Targaryen...
Yeah, like Targaryen, or like Daenerys or Aegon.
Also, this is another video, another conversation. It'll be interesting to see how the common people react to a male, sane Targaryen landing in Westeros.
What?
Are they gonna... I mean, some people think that like it's gonna be like a unanimous huzzah, yay, Targaryen king. I kind of doubt that. I think that, like Jorah Mormont says, the common people pray for rain and good crop yields.
Yeah.
And Westeros has been just destroyed by this War of the Five Kings. I think that they're honestly going to be kind of displeased by another factor of war coming in. I think that they don't care. They just want peace. That's what the realm wants overall. That's what Varys wants, I think. It's the whole thing. But, so yeah, those are our predictions for Winterfell. The Winterfell Knot. Just let us know what you think. We would love to comment with you and all that. And this has been our video, and we'll make a few more covering most of the material leading up to the Winds of Winter.
Absolutely.